Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Coffee with Katie. Got a latte from my local coffee shop. It's been super rainy all day, so there's been like no sun. So sorry about that, but this is the only time I have to film. Today's video is going to be my anticipated releases for the third quarter of the year, so it's going to be for July, August, and September. Now, I only have a handful of these, probably about 10 at this point. I think more will appear as things are announced, released, as I think of them, but this is what I have for now, so let's just get into it. The first book that I'm anticipating in July is one of the highest anticipated releases, and it's The Exquisite Torment of Loving Your Enemy by Brigitte Knightley. This is book 2 in the Dearly Beloved series, duology. If you've been around, you've heard me talk about the first one, The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy. And I love this series. It's based on a Hermione fanfic, and I just love it so much. I've really been wanting to continue this one. Obviously, I had to just wait for the next book, but I've been really excited about it, and hopefully I can get to it really quickly when it comes out. Can't really tell you what it's about at this point, but one is there's different orders in this world, and the magical orders. And when you pick one, it's kind of like branded onto your hand, and it identifies you, and you're a part of that order for a life. And one of them, Osric, is an assassin, and the other one, Aaron, is a healer. And those are very, contradicting things. He finds out that he's diagnosed with an incurable disease that is terminal, and he blackmails / hires her by donating into some of her research to cure this children's disease that is popping up and was, dormant for a long time, and now it just suddenly starts. There's a lot of cases spreading, and it seems maybe not accidental. And he blackmails her / pays her to help him try to research and try to cure him. A lot of hijinks ensue, but I love this series. I love this story so far, and I'm very excited to continue. The second one that comes out July 14th is In Stormy Weather by Chelsea Curto, and this caught my attention because it's like a storm chaser contemporary romance, and it says from the best-selling indie author Chelsea comes an academic rivals to lovers romance about storm-chasing meteorologists during hurricane season in Florida. Perfect for fans of Allie Hazelwood and B.K. Borison. Both of those I enjoy. Nothing can rain on Quincy Monroe's parade. She's a woman in STEM with a PhD in atmospheric science. The host of a successful online weather show and has 1 million followers on her meteorology Instagram. Quincy has spent endless hours forging her path in this male-dominated field, becoming one of the best in the industry. Quincy has spent endless hours forging her path, and with a new job opportunity, nothing can derail her success. Except for the ill-timed arrival of Sebastian Dunn. Sebastian is her best friend's brother, her long-suffering academic and professional rival, and a flashy TV weatherman from New York City that everyone swoons over. Everyone but Quincy. Over a scorching Florida summer and record-breaking hurricane season, Sebastian and Quincy are forced into close proximity. Setting aside their grudges to chase storms and stay alive is one thing, but can they weather the inevitable collision of their hearts? I just like that it's a storm chaser story that's also kind of like a contemporary fun romance, and bringing in those authors that I've really enjoyed their works, I am pretty excited about this. I think it's going to be pretty good. Hopefully it doesn't disappoint, but I think it's going to be pretty good. And the last one that comes out that I'm going to be talking about in July comes out July 21st, and it is Tides of Fortune by Lauren Hamilton Murray. This is book 2 in the Stormweaver series, and I loved the first one, Air of Storms. I loved it, and I'm so pumped. You know those books that you're really, really excited about, but you just know when you learn that there's going to be a second one, you just kind of push it off into the distance in your mind so you don't have to think about how much time you have to wait. And now the time is shrinking, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's in my next video, my next quarterly video. I'm so excited. So Tides of Fortune is coming. I love the US cover. It's so pretty with the more earthy magic. Again, this is the second book in the series, so I can't give you a lot of information about it. I'll just kind of read you this little blip. It says, returning to the spellbinding world of Air of Storms in this explosive second installment to the Stormweaver trilogy. Perfect for fans of Red Queen, Throne of Glass, and The Rose Bargain. Right? And the next part is immediately a spoiler, but I'm very excited. This is all based on elemental magic, and the first one is that everyone that has elemental magic and gets this mark on their hand as well, kind of funnily enough, They are to compete, and it just like happens. It's like a natural phenomenon. It just happens. The people in these different families of the 4 elements will get this thing that'll appear on their palm with the element, and they have to like report to the empire, because that means that the emperor is dead and they're raising up a new empire. So there's gonna be like a king or queen situation and then a court. And so they're competing not only to be king or queen, but also to be part of the court. And if you win, like if you like, it's on rankings and stuff. Really interesting competition element, political stuff. I really enjoyed it and can't wait to continue. And then on August 4th, Adversary to the Villain is coming out. Hi, Hannah Nicole May here. I don't know if this is the last book, because I thought the last one was the last one. So this is book 4 in the series, the Assistant to the Villain series. We'll see if this is the last one. Oh, okay. At the bottom, this one says, this hilarious fantasy romance series doesn't end at Adversary to the Villain. The thrilling conclusion to the series is coming soon. So I'm assuming it's a five books. Anyway, so this next one's coming out. I'm very excited. It has the dragon on the cover finally, which is so fun. We love him. But this has been a really interesting story. I'm kind of confused that it's gone on this long, honestly. I thought it would wrap up in 3 books. But I really like the first one of it being like a fairy tale fantasy world mixed with like an office setting. I feel like it's been very unique and very funny. People, I think, read it and they want a really dark romance, and that's not what this is. It's very funny, very cute, whimsical a little bit. There is character development and plot development where it gets a little bit darker, where you realize that characters have been mistreated and betrayed and why they have this like villain arc and some twists and turns along the way. So it's not all like light and fluffy, but it's so approachable that I feel like people that are intimidated by a lot of fantasy books would be able to enjoy this and kind of not be overwhelmed by it. And it's also really funny. So I think the humorous elements are also very relatable and approachable. So if that sounds like something you would like to read and you're not really into fantasy, I would give this a shot. It's funny. Like I said, it's funny. It doesn't take itself too seriously at times. But I do think it's a really fun ride. And it's adventurous, and you run into a lot of like hilarious situations or creatures. And it's funny because of the male characters that get really flustered by the ladies that they like. And I don't know, I really enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to continuing. The story is following Evie, and the villain. And Evie takes a job as the villain's assistant because she needs a job because her father is sick and she needs something to provide for her family, and she's been having trouble finding a good job, and he provides that for her, but he also has a crush on her. And it's really funny because he's the villain. He's not supposed to have a crush on anyone, and I've just loved this so much. So the last book I didn't like quite as much, but I feel like that's because it's almost like middle book syndrome because it's the 3rd out of 5. So we'll see how it comes together. There was a little bit of a like twist at the end also, so that's cool. But we'll see how it goes. And then on August 13th, Henrietta by Sophie Irwin is coming out. And this is one of those authors that if she says that she's coming out with a book, I will read it immediately. She's one of those people. And I saw that she was coming out with this, and it's a little bit different than the other stuff that she's written in the past, but I don't care because I trust her completely. She's my like historical Regency romance girly. I love it. I love her writing. It says, the charming and uplifting official Georgette Hare romance. Will this be the season she wins his heart? Could this be the season she wins his heart? Henrietta has secretly loved Arthur, Lord Allerton, since childhood. He is the only man who is interested in her rather than her fortune, just not in the way that she wants. After 3 years away at war, Arthur has returned to London to find everything changed. His finances are ruined, his family in chaos, and sweet, shy Hetty is different. I don't know what this sentence means. I think it's a typo, but it says, for Hetty has set herself as she has one summer to become the charming, dashing diamond she always wished to be. And either Arthur will notice her, or she'll give up her dreams entirely. But in a glittering season plagued by scandal and intrigue, is there still room for love? It says, if you love Bridgerton, you'll love Georgette Hare. I'm excited about this simply because it's Sophie Irwin. I think it could say literally anything and I'd be like, done, because it's Sophie Irwin. So looking forward to that. And then this next one I learned about not too long ago. And I love that it's a thing, but I'm curious how it's going to be executed. And it's by Alex Astor, which I forgot actually until this moment. But it's Barbie Dreamscape. And it looks really interesting. And I've, ever since like Barbie the movie came out a few summers ago, I've had more tolerance for Barbie and things like that. And I think it's more intriguing. And I'm very curious about this. This says it comes out August 18th, if I didn't say that. And I really like the cover. It's really pretty. And it says, step out of the box and into the unexpected in this high-stakes, fantasy-infused Barbie young adult novel. Barbie's life is perfect. She lives in a pink-hued paradise called Heartland, where everything is in order and everyone has a role to play. Thanks to the mysterious and all-powerful beings who will soon assign her fate at graduation from the enchanted Swancrest Academy, she's worked hard to earn a good one. Her years of endless studying and acing every challenge are about to pay off. But when the unthinkable happens and Barbie is left fateless, the first in Heartland's history, her carefully ordered world shatters. Shaken and uncertain, Barbie must confront a future she never wanted, with no clear path forward at all. Yet when a mysterious necklace begins to pulse with a hidden power, she is drawn beyond Heartland's protective mists into a daring journey across extraordinary lands. From sun-drenched shores to treacherous, ever-shifting landscapes, to shadowed forests steeped in secrets and magic, each realm will test Barbie's courage, sharpen her wits, and awaken strength she never knew she possessed, all while drawing her ever closer to a buried truth that could change her world forever. A richly imagined coming-of-age tale from the premier voice in teen fiction, this is a story about defying expectations, rewriting the rules, and discovering the greatest possibilities lie in stepping out of the box and into the unexpected. It just sounds so cute and wholesome and adventurous, and I'm actually really excited about it, and I can't wait to read it. I'm not like diehard Alex Astor at this point, because I've only read 2 of her books in the Lightlark series, but I do want to read Starside and this one. So hopefully Alex Astor becomes a bigger author for me. So I'm hoping I enjoy this, but it sounds so wholesome. So cute and nice. And then September 1st, we have Our Strange Duet by Erin A. Craig. This is a Phantom of the Opera retelling, and I am pumped. I loved Phantom of the Opera growing up, like many people my age. And I love the cover as well. And it says it's a reimagining of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera. Yes. Spotlighting Christine Daae as she rises to fame while torn between love, ambition, and the haunting secrets of the opera house. Inspired by Gaston Leroux's 1910 novel, Le Fantôme de l'Opéra. I'm sorry, my French accent is the worst. Andrew Lloyd Webber's The Phantom of the Opera tells the story of a mysterious masked figure who lurks beneath the Paris Opera House, exercising a reign of terror over all who inhabit it. He falls madly in love with a young soprano, Christine Daae, and devotes himself to nurturing her extraordinary talents, employing all of the devious methods at his command. Our Strange Duet centers Christine's emotional journey and her agency within this sweeping atmospheric opera. I hope that this just lives up to expectations, because I have high ones for Andrew Lloyd Webber's Phantom of the Opera. I love it. And I just hope it's really good. It doesn't really tell you what it's going to be like, but I'm curious and I'm excited. I hope we get the Phantom POV as well. We'll see. And then on September 8th, Tempest is coming out by Victoria Aveyard. And I've had kind of an interesting relationship with Victoria Aveyard, not in a like good or bad way. I really want to read the Red Queen series, but I never have. And I read the first one in her other series. Oh no, what is it called? Unbreakable, maybe? Realmbreaker. I read Realmbreaker, and I didn't love it, but I also never continued the series. This one kind of caught my eye. If I'm not mistaken, this is her first adult fantasy, and I'm just really curious what she's going to do with it. I love the cover. I love that it's seafaring. It's book 1 in the Lyrian Sea series. It says, it's an epic adventure of love and betrayal amid a brutal war for the high seas. May the sea always sing for you. Cat Rose knows what it is to live in 2 worlds, in 2 times. Before is Lady Catherine Rose of the Meridian Empire, chained to a loathsome lord with a dwindling future, and after, as the Widow Rose, queen of the pirate tavern in the Lyrian Sea, determined to be the master of her own fate. But tides turn and winds change. The Meridian Empire looms on the horizon, the full weight of her navy falling on the Lyrian, bent on reclaiming the wealthy colonies and crushing the pirate republic once and for all. Ship after ship is captured, save for one captained by a pirate who continually evades both noose and blade, the legendary Valerian Kane. With his fearsome ship and uncanny connection to the Song of the Sea, Valerian is the only man who might rally the pirates who remain, the only man who threatens the Empire, and the only man Kat has ever loved, blazing in and out of her life like a star. Desperate for victory, the Empire offers Kat a devastating choice: bring them Valerian or hang. In truth, no choice at all, but Kat Rose is nothing if not a survivor. A storm is rising on the Lyrian Sea. The question is, what will it leave in its wake? I love that it's a pirate seafaring high fantasy, so I'm very excited about this. I hope it lives up to my expectations again. I've only read one of Victoria's books and I didn't love it, so hopefully I really like this one and this is like the one that works for me. I think Red Queen would also work for me, I just haven't picked it up. And then, also on September 8th, this one is really cute, and I feel like it's very niche to me liking it, but it's Lucky 22 by Ashley Eckstein. If you know me, you know that I am a huge Star Wars fan. Huge. Gigantic. Massive Star Wars fan. And Ashley Eckstein voices Ahsoka in the animated Clone Wars series, and I love Star Wars, the world, the movies. I like a lot of the books. Just so much, and I'm just a huge nerd about it. And I follow Ashley Eckstein on media because she also has the clothing line Her Universe, which is like nerdy fandom wear for people, and I love that. And she's married to a professional baseball player, and she wrote their story. It's like a contemporary romance, and I think it's so cute. She like co-authored it, I guess, but I'm really excited about this. It sounds so cute, and I'll read you the description, but she pitches it as like, everyone's always told me that our story is like a Hallmark film. And so she wanted to write it down, and I think that's so precious. So I'm really excited about this. It says, 22 was just a lucky number until it wasn't. Ella Rose Holt believes in magic. Not always the fairy tale kind, but the quiet kind that shows up when you least expect it. On the brink of her golden birthday, chasing acting dreams in Los Angeles, Ella's life feels full of possibility, and just a little unfinished. Christian Lucas has built his world on discipline, dedication, and the game he loves. As a professional baseball player, his life is carefully scheduled, a bit guarded, and rarely spontaneous. When a chance encounter, a lucky number, and not so blind date bring them together, neither is prepared for the connection that follows. What starts as an unexpected meeting quickly becomes something deeper. An easy friendship, a steady trust, and a romance that grows quietly but undeniably. As their worlds collide under bright stadium lights and red carpet flashes, Ella and Christian must decide whether love has a place in lives already full of ambition, sacrifice, and dreams in motion. Because sometimes the most extraordinary love stories aren't loud or dramatic. They're built on faith, on timing, on believing that when the moment comes, you'll be brave enough to say yes, and a bit of luck. That sounds so precious. I'm so excited because it's her story. I can't wait. And then lastly, on September 15th, we have Grim Tidings by B.K. Borison. This is book 2 in the Ghosted series, and this is following the Grim Reaper. I think it's so fun. I liked the first one okay, and I want to continue the series. It says that from B.K. Borison comes a new whimsical haunting romance. When a runaway Grim Reaper tries to save a life, she clashes with a skeptical guardian, forcing them to form an unlikely partnership beyond the grave. Darcy Moore is tired of death, which would be fine and good if she wasn't a Grim Reaper. Determined to outrun her designation as the villain, Darcy decides she won't be dragging her next assignment to the underworld. She'll be saving him instead. Unfortunately for Darcy, there's a complication in her plan. Guardian Angel Gabriel Atos doesn't tolerate threats to his little corner of the world, and a Grim Reaper showing up at his bar is as deadly as it gets. But when he realizes Darcy is not as she seems, Gabriel must decide if he can trust his growing feelings or hold on to his long-standing grudge. But magic doesn't come without consequences, and the Department of Hauntings and Spirits will eventually come calling for their missing Reaper. A spooky yet simmering enemies to lovers tale to keep you warm this fall. Enemies to lovers, Angel, Reaper, Grumpy, guy who likes everyone except her, death but make it corporate, star-crossed lovers, changing your fate. I liked the first one, but I like the dynamic of this one, of it being like an angel and a Grim Reaper. I think that's really fun, so I'm excited for this. Those are my anticipated releases for the third quarter of 2026. I'm sure there will be more that I'm going to be reading and want to read, but for now, this is the list. And I would love to know your thoughts on this list. If these are ones you've heard of before. If you haven't, if they're also on your anticipated releases, or if you have an anticipated release coming out July, August, or September that I didn't have on mine, I would love to know what it is if you want to leave it in a comment down below. Give me some recommendations, people. Thank you so much for watching, but that is it for today's video. Please like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you next time. Stay safe and caffeinated. Bye.